Gambling parlors did not originate in America. Casinos have been part of the fashionable European lifestyle for 3 centuries. But it figures that a country founded on the idea that all men are created equal would mechanize gambling and turn it into something for the working class. It started in the 1890s when coin-operated games of chance began appearing in the saloons and cigar parlors of San Francisco. The slot machine as we know it was invented in 1899 by a German immigrant with a knack for mechanics.
My grandfather, Charles Fay, has become world famous because he had built the first Liberty Bell machine. Now, that's the first machine that's had 3 reels and could automatically pay out. Everybody, when they think of a 3-reel machine, think of that type of machine. They called him the Thomas Edison of slot machines.
Well, you almost got 3 diamonds.
Fay's first slot machines were penny ante amusements for the rough-edged men who had already gambled with their lives in California's gold mines. The 1906 San Francisco earthquake and fire leveled Charles Fay's factory. By the time he rebuilt, Fay had to fend off new competitors who copied his machine, since patent laws would not protect gaming devices. By 1911, slots were rattling away all across America. But in big cities and small towns, the one-armed bandits became lightning rods for controversy.
They had political cartoons, and then the church, of course, was against it. They felt that maybe the husband would go down to the saloon and gamble away the family funds.
In order to stay one step ahead of anti-gambling laws, these so-called trade-stimulating devices had to deliver something in exchange for the nickels deposited.
This was built in 1910, and to keep the machines operating legally, they put a gum vendor on the side which dispensed fruit-flavored gum. So they get around the law and called it a vending machine.
When you played the machine, it was like you're buying the gum.
And the flavors of the fruit gum were oranges, lemons, cherries, plums.
Those fruits inspired the famous symbols still found on slot machines today. Lawmakers weren't fooled by the gum vendors, and cash returns were prohibited in most municipalities until 1931. So the early slot machines spit out tokens to be traded for merchandise.
And it was very popular to pay out in cigars and drinks. There were a lot of other innovative ways. There was one machine that had the pencils, that paid out in pencils, one that had razor blades, you could win razor blades, golf balls.
And we'll go ahead and play this machine. It operates normally. We got a plum, a cherry, and a bell. So that's no winner, but they still could take the gum.
The first 70 years of the slot machine's history are on display in Reno, Nevada, at the Liberty Bell Saloon.
The first machine to accept a silver dollar was put together by our grandfather in 1929. It was very difficult to make a machine accept a coin that large. But the neat thing about the silver dollar machine is when it comes out, it makes such a loud noise. It's just the very size of the coin playing it.
Marshall's collection is worth about $1 million, so you could say he's hit the jackpot.
The very early ones were more a Victorian period, and then like in the 30s, they were the modern look of that age.
Well, we've all heard of the one-armed bandit. Well, actually, this is the 3-armed bandit. It's got 2 down below and 1 for a handle. This machine here is a 1955 Jennings Sunsheet. One of the features of this game was the drink holder on this side and the ashtray over here. Then the customers could stay very comfortably, sit down, and play the machine for hours. The cocktail waitress was built by Harry Skelly here in Reno, and there was 21 of these made, and they were in the Golden Hotel downtown. We're lined up in front of the registration desk, so you walked by these gals as you went into the registration desk.
Modern marketing honchos might think they invented the link between slot machines and pop culture. But in fact, machines have used themes and fads to lure customers since the earliest days.
Oh, every machine of any importance had a name. Some were named for states, cities, people, and then political heroes like this beautiful machine was built by Mills Novelty right after 1900. It was named for Admiral Dewey, the hero of the Battle of Bay of Manila in the Spanish-American War. It was a dubious honor for Dewey to have a machine named after him.
Ironically, hard economic times produced the first golden age of slots. By 1932, annual revenues were estimated at $150 million. This during the depths of the Depression.
Oh,
Well, slot machines were very important during the Depression. And the reason for that, when times were bad, very prestigious businesses, hotels would put a slot machine in just to keep in operation. They helped a lot of businesses survive the Depression.
After 29,
gangsters got involved and operated machines in a lot of places. And people like Al Capone and Costell in New York, they had tremendous operations. And this did not have a good effect for the machine.
The slot machine's new underworld connections spurred a high-profile crusade against the device.
And one of the persons that did the most of that was Mayor LaGuardia in New York. He picked up over 1,000 machines. He calls down the newspapers and the newsreels, and they make a real big thing about him breaking them up with sledgehammers.
For the first 50 years, slot machine laws were a state-by-state matter. But in 1950, passage of the Johnson Act began a new era of almost national prohibition. The cascade of coins was shut off everywhere except Nevada. It would be 35 years before slots would stage a comeback.
The big thing today is the amount of money you can win. In the old machines, the earliest machines, and the fun of playing the machines and seeing the combinations you get. You'd venture a nickel, and your biggest pay was 20 nickels, so that was $1.
A jackpot used to be a modest windfall, coins put back in the hands of the player, coins that could be expected to feed the machine just one more time. The first real jackpot, a 70-to-1 return on a nickel machine that paid $3.50, was big news in 1928. The numbers have changed, and so has the technology. But Charles Fay's 3 reels created an element of suspense that still is a thrill today. With every pull of the handle, players can imagine they feel the icons getting ready to line up for a jackpot, a hunch with a century of history to make it seem possible.
The slot machine is the only casino game that's 100% American innovation and invention.
put a nickel in here. The reels spin around, and we almost had a winner. I say that a lot.